I don't think I have a whole lot to talk about today for this subject. I mean, there's just really not a lot going on for it. But it's what I do. So, here we go. This is First Ride, Last Ride.
Lights top when you're in PC. Lights rock when you depend on me. To give you weapons and information for your journey and still you still push it and try to hurt me. Lights top when you're in PC. Lights rock when you depend.
I have praised websites like DriveThruRPG on this show mainly because we are in this new era. A new era of role-playing games, completely different from the other ones, because nowadays, thanks to DriveThruRPG and the idea of just putting PDFs up for sale onto these websites for mass distribution, we have a veritable tidal wave of role-playing games out there now. Used to be that you only had your select few to choose from. The reason the big names were out there is because, well, the big names were just about it, unless you had friends who had various independent games that they would sell at their local game shops. DriveThruRPG makes it possible that now there's thousands, even more. And I mean, thanks to that, this show now exists as well. And it really does breed innovation. It shows new ideas on the market. For better or for worse. And thus today we have a unique and innovative game in First Ride, Last Ride. It is certainly trying to change some things here. But does it do it well? Well, that has yet to be seen. The best way that I can describe this game is that it is one of the most involved games of solitaire that I have ever seen. The game is a solo adventure game in which you take on the role of a character named Dan. You then follow a set of instructions and cards that lead the character of Dan on a whirlwind of adventure in a Fast and Furious style story. And oh boy, does this game really hit just about all the sore spots for me when it comes to role-playing games. I'm going to start this off by saying that the idea of a solo role-playing game isn't inherently a bad thing. Take another game like the Imposter's Anthology book as a game that I have praised that had a lot of single-player games in there. There are cool ways to go about creating an RPG for you to play by yourself. However, it certainly is a tough sell because you have to convince the person purchasing your game that your game is worth you spending money instead of just coming up with the story using their own imagination. This game also does not do exactly a whole lot of favors for it by not having character creation. Instead, you take on the role of Dan, and you get to go on Dan's adventure, Dan's story. A role-playing game is not a story you tell people. You give them the tools to tell their own story. This game isn't so much of a game as it is a choose-your-own-adventure story. What if I don't want to take on the role of Dan? What if I want to be someone else? What if I want to be a woman named Danielle? I mean, sure, you can change these things in your head, but the idea I'm getting at here is that you shouldn't have to do that. If I'm going to play this game, I want to make my own character and tell my own story, not the one that the creator has created and just shoved into my face. Bottom line, this thing is, it isn't even a game. Like, I'm spending 5 minutes here saying that this is not even a game. It's a choose-your-own-adventure story that had a person with enough imagination to create one and then slap it onto DriveThruRPG and also use a couple of really good graphics, let's say, for the book itself. However, there's nothing else to it beyond choose-your-own-adventure. From what I've seen, the game's creator Jason Morningstar and Bully Pulpit Games have released several other games, some of which I am sure have great gaming elements to it. But First Ride, Last Ride should have been a novel or a short story. It doesn't merit a $5 asking price. This game's a miss. Once again, one of the quickest misses that I've ever given, because it's not even a game. It's just a story that is told, that is sold to you for $5. I mean, the idea of single-player role-playing games can be done, and it can be done well. but it has to be done with a lot of care. And this game just definitely doesn't do it. It's not worth the $5 that you'd pay on Drive-Thru-RPG for it. It's not a good game. It's not even a good choose-your-own-adventure. It's just not good. Thank you all so much for watching as I poorly transition into that one. But just thank you all so much for watching, especially with the shortness of this video. Please like and subscribe for more, and please go to Patreon and become my patron and our patrons. So thank you all so much.